Today is 730th day. I'm here, to learn. I'm learning. I hope to support your dreams, your goals, allow you to become the person that you want to become. We live in very uncertain times. We live in very interesting times. Now, of course, there's a lot of uncertainty in public and political environment, in economy. Everyone is waiting for recession, depression, and everything seems that this might be that is not as perfect as it could be. Now, a lot of times what happens is that when there's a lot of uncertainty in politics, economy, and everything in between, there's a lot of things that start to change in life. And I was chatting that a lot of times you start to be able to hear that there's much more honking in streets than regular. And why is that? Why there is more honking than regular? And I was starting to think about it. That a lot of times when things are not going well, it starts to show up in small things that sometimes we do not care about, but it starts to show up. Now, when I think about my lowest point in my life in 2019, when I still was trying to figure out a lot of things, I used to be very frustrated. And how that showed up in other areas of my life is that I became much more lousy driver. I used to honk. I used to be very impatient. And that means that a lot of times people become crazy drivers only because there's a lot of things going on in their life that pushes them to act a certain way. And then, of course, when you are patient, when you are able to control your emotions, you become much better driver all in general. So when you honk a lot, I think that sometimes it's good to reflect why you honk in the first place. So today we'll share eight things that really why majority of people honk. And a lot of times you will be able to reflect, okay, maybe there's something in my life that I need to adjust, pivot, or do something about my life that I could not be frustrated. Or maybe there is something that you're able to do just easy thing. Because a lot of times people who are amazing people, they become very impatient when they're driving and on the wheel. So number one, when you think about why people honk, the first one is, of course, is impatience. Impatience. So that could be really a red flag that maybe if you're not able to really patiently sit in one spot for just a few seconds and without honking, maybe that could start to probably show up in other areas of life. Even that means you're not able not to honk, and you're very impatient. That means that you're not able to pursue the goals that you want. There's a lot of things that might be that is not working in your life. So that means maybe you are required to start working on patience. How to build patience is one of the most important things in life. Because only patience allows you to achieve vision that you want, because without patience there is not. Now, I understand that we need to be impatient and not wait. But when we're doing actions, then we need to really be patient and wait for results we're looking for. A lot of times, when you honk, a lot of times it could be part of that you are very, very impatient. Number two is aggressiveness. That means a lot of times people become very aggressive on the wheel and they get very angry. So that means a lot of times because we have so much anger inside, when we on the wheel, we're able to transfer that anger that we have regarding our life, regarding anything in between, to the honking. And of course, sometimes it feels that it relaxes you when you press the honk, and finally, yeah, I'm doing a great job. I press the honk. I scared that that other person did a bad job at driving. And of course, we are very aggressive, and that means that again, we need to ask why I'm so aggressive while I'm driving. Maybe there is some underneath things that I need to fix to make sure that I'm not as aggressive on the road as I'm now. Number three is frustration. Frustration. Again, this is one more time, we need to ask ourselves why we are frustrated. Why are you frustrated by other people? Why other people are able to frustrate you that easily that you need to honk every single day? That means what is frustrating in your life? Because a lot of times we have a tendency to transfer and deflect our emotions to other things. So honking is one of the things that we deflect and frustrate and think about, oh, this person did a terrible job. He crossed my place. He is waiting too long. And all the other frustrations could be through driving. Most time is not driving related, but it is just life related that it transfers into driving. Number four is lack of courtesy. That means that a lot of times we are not able to understand what other people are going through. A lot of times people just learn how to drive now and they're learning and improving. So that means we need to really be okay other people not driving perfectly. Because if you're an amazing driver, that means that's great. But some people are average or below average drivers. And I really loved the statistics that 80% of people think that they are better than average people, but that's not true because it's not possible. So that means you understand that some people are just average, and we need to be okay with that and not get frustrated. And lack of courage is making us honk more than necessary. Number 5 is lack of awareness. So that means that a lot of times people are going through stuff. They are going through a lot of stuff in their life and they are not able to be present. So that means a lot of times if we are honking a lot shows that we do not have empathy. People could go through a lot of stuff and they're not able to be focused on driving and they do mistakes. Maybe they are not as fast. Maybe they did something or they were somewhere in a rush and now you do not know why in the rush, why they did a mistake, why, all the things. So when you have empathy, you are able to question and try to put yourself in other people's shoes and you do not honk as much. Number 6 is cultural factors. It's interesting because different cities are honking differently because some see honking as a natural driving thing, just part of DNA, and other areas do not honk all at all. So this is forces cultural factor as well. But it means that you need to ask yourself, do you honk just because everyone is honking? Or do you honk because of your own reasons, that personal reasons that makes you feel better after you honk? Number 7 is habit. Now, of course, a lot of times people are impatient, aggressive, frustrated, and everything in between. They have lack of courtesy, lack of empathy, lack of awareness, and after a while they get comfortable honking every single time. And of course, that creates a habit. But I truly believe that honking is a bad habit. Like how I was supposed to honk, a lot of times people who are not used to that get scared when they hear honking because it seems someone is in a rush or anything in between. So there's other ways to be able to communicate rather than just honking every single time, because we are part of the community and we need to learn not just honk of every single moment when someone is just 1 millisecond was late to start to drive. And last one is communication, because some people honk just as part of communication, just to see everything in between. But and again, we need to ask her what is our reason to honk, because as I said that a lot of times honking shows that something is not okay in their life. It might be not, because as I said, it could be just part of communication, part of the habit, and everything could be great in their life if they just honk because that's the thing that is a great thing to do. But in my case, I was totally honking because my life was not okay, and I used to transfer my frustration into driving. And I used to be a much more lousy driver. So now I think that we need to reflect. How do you honk and when do you honk and what is the reason of your honking? Because when you will reflect and you will start to be aware that you honk because of your own frustrations rather than other people, start to become much more compassionate towards yourself and towards other people, and you're able to drive much better because you have stress-free drive. Because a lot of times people see driving as a stressful experience because they always think about other people. But when you start thinking about yourself and being okay, being sometimes a little bit slower, sometimes a little bit faster, sometimes not in a rush, that's of course I think that you are becoming less stressful, less anxiety, and you're able to enjoy driving altogether. Now, of course, honking is just a small aspect, sometimes that could show that maybe something in your life is not working. Something might be not working in your life and it shows up in other areas of life, and sometimes look into other areas of life and where your frustration shows up, where your impatience shows up. And if you start to see that there is areas of your life like honking, driving, you are getting very frustrated for no reason. Maybe there is something in your life that it needs to be addressed, that those other areas could fix byproducts because of that. So I hope you choose to win and see you tomorrow.